This is your favorite podcast, Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson. I'm joined with my co-host Byron Evans, a.k.a. Buff, and Razi Mancarella, a.k.a. Razi. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
Not a lot. The missus, I'm actually looking for it as we speak. So the missus, in response to last week's story about the gun, she has a different memory of it. So I wanted to get her quote correction in there. She says, I quote, "Just to let you know," I'm not going to say the girl's name that was over here. "Just to let you know, girl didn't ask where your gun was. She wanted to see our room, and Jazzy is not allowed to take anyone in there because of the gun. I heard them going in our room, and I went upstairs to talk to her." Me and Jasmine remember it differently, but I did want to at least be fair and get my wife's take on it. Either way, I'm glad it was in the lockbox because they did go in the room. So
sound like you got in trouble to me, sir.
Yeah, so, Three Brothers No Sense. We're fair and balanced.
There you go.
Did you end up sleeping on the couch?
On my mind. Oh, well, we talked about that in early episodes. I don't sleep on no couch, bro. So talk to him, Razi.
What's up, y'all? Man, I just want to talk about This Is Us. So if you're not watching This Is Us, I always talk about movies and series that I'm watching. Man, This Is Us is so good. The first episode, they got us.
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers. But if it starts off with people who are you don't know who they are. And it's like the first 45 minutes, you're like, who are these people? What is this? This is a new show or something? And so they bring it together at the end. So
as they always do.
As they always do. I shouldn't have doubted the writers, the awesome writers of This Is Us. But
bro, those writers are anointed by something. Bro, I just never doubt them. It's like I start paying attention to stuff that's not even there. I've never watched a TV show and looked for Easter eggs. Like, hold on. Okay, somebody got in an accident. Remember that, baby. That was a Toyota Corolla. Like, I be looking for stuff that ain't even there, man. I'm just because I always feel like they're going to tie it in some way. Now, they still might, though.
Yeah, they will. They'll bring up stuff from, two seasons ago. But I just want to say, it was so good to be able to watch a show and not nitpick the military scenes. So it was spot on. And so hats off to them again, whoever their military advisor is, because Jenica was looking at me. I was like, that's exactly what happens, and I'm not gonna go into the scenes, but I was like, yep, that's it. I had that, and I was like, I've had that happen. And she did it right, and everything was just like exactly how it happens. Like I text you, Ferg, and I was like, I've lived that scene before in real life, and so the show's just awesome.
Man, I sat there and we watched it late because we don't watch stuff real time. And I ended up like, man, I got to hit my boy Razi up, man. Like I felt we paused so many times and talked about military experiences, the wife and I, which is a part of me that she probably doesn't know too much about. I really don't talk about it enough, but probably in the last, call it 3 to 6 months, I found myself opening up more about it, which I really didn't realize I was that closed off about it. But that's a story for another day. So what I'm excited about, fellas, is FAMU Homecoming's coming up. In a little more than a week, I will be on the highest of 7 hills at the greatest HBCU in the world, Florida A&M University. I'm ready. So for any of our listeners that went to FAM, know about FAM, hopefully I see you on the hill next week. We're celebrating the class of 99's 20-year reunion. That class was very special because the year before, FAMU won Princeton Review's College of the Year. So this wasn't Black College of the Year. This wasn't Southeast College of the Year. It was, quote unquote, the best college in America. And so what happened was they were able to recruit a crazy incoming freshman class. At our school, John L. LaFleur, we had a dual enrollment. So we had 2 valedictorians and 2 salutatorians, and all 4 of them end up going to FAMU.
Yep.
I mean, it was just that crazy. Razi was one step away from going to FAM, but UAB offered him a little more money. But FAM that incoming year, and Razi might as well have enrolled because he was there all the time. But man, so I'm drinking my water, I'm stretching, I'm hydrating. I mean, in our group, they were talking about IVs, charcoal. Man, I'm so out the loop. I ain't about that life no more. I just found out because these people out here ready to do it, and I was like, man,
they ready to die. That's what they ready to do.
I'm not saying people won't die, but they'll come back to life. But man, I'm scared. So, man, it's been real. But I guess I just advertise IVs and charcoal pills and stuff like that. So I might as well advertise Anchor. So here we go.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Welcome back, fellas. You know, it's my favorite part of the show. It's the question and answer portion. You know, when I say that or think about it, I always think about like a beauty contest where we're asked a question and you got to answer. So as usual, I'm going to kick it off. So here's my question. You all consider yourselves millennials, correct?
Yes, me and Jenica have that argument all the time because we just slid in, but we are millennials.
Well, you know, they kind of got the new Zennial thing where you're kind of on the cusp or whatever the case may be. But do you consider yourself a millennial?
Yeah, I mean, by definition. Yeah. Now, I guess the behavior that people associate with millennials, I think that's why we have a subcategory. We don't really subscribe to that, but yeah.
Man, so there we go. We're always somebody got the rhetoric or put it in our mind that it's a bad thing. So one of the things about millennials, and I feel the same way to a certain extent, is I didn't really know we were truly the trophy generation. You know, you guys know what I mean by the trophy generation.
Yeah,
I hear so many people talk these.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody get a trophy for this. Everybody get a trophy for that. When I was growing up, if you didn't win, you know, they're Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. Mm-hmm. But apparently, we're part of the trophy generation. So my question is, how do you feel about being part of the trophy generation or being labeled as a trophy generation? Is that a good or bad thing?
Go ahead, Razi. You want me to? I'll go first. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Look, man, I have this argument with people my age all the time, even with you guys sometimes, how we talk bad about, you know, young people's music and all that stuff. But it's not a bad thing. I remember playing park football, and not just with park football or baseball.
Cheaters.
Don't start that. Okay.
So
Peters
side
Park,
note,
Peters Park,
circa 1994.
Square, last stadium, baby, champs.
Y'all lost. Y'all cheated, bro.
Champs.
I feel like I saw the refs.
Bad. They
no, bro, that's my dog. We were dragged. I'm telling you, I feel like I saw the refs.
Go ahead, get it out.
At Herschel's house later that day. I feel like y'all paid the refs.
Okay.
We punt the ball. They pick the ball up, fumble, pick the ball up again, fumble, ball rolls into the end zone. We recover, touchdown. We're getting ready to line up for the extra point, and then the refs call a mysterious flag, or they do a huddle, and all of a sudden it's a touchback. Come on, man. But continue, Byron. I'm sorry. I digress.
It's not a bad thing. I can get straight to the point. Put it like this. When you're a kid, you know, even when they give everybody a trophy, you know who's really the winner and that you just got a trophy just to get one. Like, I think we underestimate how smart young kids are. I remember being that age, and when we didn't win something, we would still get a trophy or whatever. Like, you knew that wasn't a real trophy. You knew. So it's not a bad thing. You still know the difference between winning and losing. You do know that you're not going to win at everything. I think that's the main point that people make. It's teaching them that they got to win at everything. No, you know you're not going to win at everything. You're going to lose at some things. Some people take losing a little worse than others. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad thing, man.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a bad thing. And again, going back to me probably being one of the more liberals out of the three on social issues, I really think that it's positive reinforcement for the kid for trying. Because one of the biggest things I think we talked about when we were talking about teaching your kids financial responsibility, and Ferg talked about having that child being able to go in and ask for a raise or counter with a higher a counter offer when somebody gives you an offer for a job. That trying, that attempt is something to be rewarded. And so that's where participation trophies came in. And the idea of we didn't do it before, or in my generation only the winner got one. Look, psychology has come a long way. That's like saying, you know, they leached people and blood to solve problems way back in the 18th century. Why don't we do that today? It's because it didn't work. Because our medicine has actually evolved, and we figured out that doesn't really work for you. So the thing about it is, we have actually studied that. They've studied the kids, and they've studied that positive reinforcement, that actually giving these participation trophies and rewarding kids for just the attempt and the try. And like Byron said, the MVP gets the bigger trophy. The folks who won first place got the bigger trophy. So you still knew that you weren't on par with the kid that was the better. You knew that this is a participation trophy. Like, you knew it. Like, I remember playing baseball and you getting the trophy with just the base and the baseball glove, the little plastic baseball glove, and that's it. And then the MVP getting one with a tower, had the little baseball player on it. Like, you wanted that trophy. So you still had that competition of trying to get the bigger trophy and being able to see those levels. But it is something to be said about, I got something for my 8 weeks, 10 weeks of trying, working hard, working out. And I did commit to this, and I finished the season, because there were kids that started the season, didn't even finish. Now those kids didn't get anything. You know what I mean? So it's that idea that I am giving out, I am giving, and being able to receive. So I definitely agree with it. And I want to talk about a little bit about what's the generation before us? Is it Gen X?
Yeah.
That was before the millennials.
Yeah.
I think they sucked. I just want to say that Gen X sucked. They didn't add anything to history, to environment. They just rolled the wave of the baby boomers.
Wait a minute. What age is Gen X? What age?
It doesn't matter.
It's our parents. Our parents are Gen X. I think it's like 55.
Civil rights, bro.
No.
That was baby boomers.
That was the baby boomers that did that. Those kids were like, they were still babies then. So civil rights happened at the end of baby boomers. Baby
boomers ended in 64.
Right. Born like 52. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So our parents are baby boomers, actually.
So our parents are. Yeah. And so that middle ground, that Gen X, bruh, they did nothing. They rode the wave of the baby boomers. They killed the economy. They started trickle down economics. They up the environment.
He used a cuss word. He said a cuss word.
I did say a cuss word. My bad.
We grown. Hey, you know what? Hey, let's just go balls to the wall. Screw it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I don't want to give Razi that much work to do, man.
You don't gotta edit it out. We're grown. I have concluded. I don't think any 12-year-olds are listening to our podcast.
But then we got to put the little E next to our episodes.
Yeah, we got to make it explicit. It won't show up on certain searches and everything.
They ain't looking for us. They ain't looking for us.
Parents are listening to this with their kids in the car. That's the reason why I think our demographic.
Bleep yourself out then, Razi.
Yes, I will. I'll bleep my. No, yeah, I'm gonna bleep
this shit out too.
And don't praise the baby boomers too either, because they're the reason my Social Security may not be there. Come of age.
Oh, no, but baby boomers have set the norm for the last 2 to 3 generations. So the way our workforce and everything said, you know, the suit and tie, the strict regimen, the 9 to 5, that's the baby boomers MO. So Generation X kind of is stuck between, you know, they're those off years. You know, think about that team that just had that they had greatness, they fell off, and then all of a sudden they're great again. You're that team in between. So with all due respect to all the Generation X listeners, we love you. We consider you more of a Zennial now because you're listening to Zennial speak. But at the end of the day, you guys said a lot. I really didn't even know until the other day I was part of the trophy generation. I always thought it was the kids, you know, and I was also one of those people that, for the most part, had mixed emotions about, you know, everybody deserves a trophy, yada, yada, yada. You know, yeah, we got the little BS trophies, but it wasn't really worth anything. And what made me think, I was actually watching ESPN the other day, and Peyton's Places came on, and he was doing an interview with my favorite running back of all time, Emmitt Smith. And he went into Emmitt's like vault where all his, you know, game balls and jerseys and everything were. And Emmitt said it, and I'm just paraphrasing. I want to say he said his dad told him, son, save every trophy, save every reward, because one day it might be someone else's shrine or something to that effect, because it's helping you prepare for greatness or helping you celebrate the small wins. Then it made me start thinking about what it means to win. So we talk about getting the big trophy and stuff like that. But when you win, what do?
Celebrate.
Exactly.
And look for the next one.
So the thing about it is, I think these trophies teach us how to celebrate. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking about myself. Now, I'm not a shy person. I think I'm outgoing. I like to have fun. I like to travel, like, you know, things like that. And I think the same thing about you guys. But when I think about celebrating myself, I had to start questioning. So, Byron, I've known you since 1992, Razi since 1995. How many things outside of weddings have any of us celebrated together? Byron, I've never seen you like have a real birthday party, you know. Razi, same here. You know, like, yeah, we might go out for dinner or something, but I've never seen us celebrate ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, are we scared to celebrate? Like, I'm working on it. My wife just celebrated her 32nd birthday this past Sunday, and we went out for dinner. We had fun, but my sister had to remind me to celebrate, you know, bigger. Like, did you do this? Did you do that? Are you going to get a cake? No, we're just going to go here. It's like, go get a cake. Do this to like celebrate, learn how to celebrate yourselves. And I'm like, to be part of the trophy generation, I really do not know how to celebrate myself. I am 38 years old, almost 39 years old. I have a 4-year-old daughter. My 4-year-old daughter has had more birthday parties than I have.
Wow.
You know, like, I've gone out for dinner, whatever the case may be, or, you know, but true birthday parties with a guest list, you know, I've had, oh yeah, we're just going to invite some family over for some ice cream and cake. But no, like, birthday party, cake, gifts, you know, it's something I've never really been good at doing. And I'm like, are we teaching these kids, this trophy generation, or these celebrate all your wins and all your successes, no matter how small they are? Because for me, it's like, it's your birthday. You know, you lived another year. Like, is that a reason to celebrate? Not saying I'm taking life for granted, but
I don't know, man. From what I've seen, our generation are definitely teaching their kids to celebrate with some of the pictures I see for graduation and birthdays for 1-year-olds and renting Bentleys for the prom. Exactly. I think they definitely learned how to celebrate.
But is that a testament to our income level, not necessarily our generation? Because I think some folks that had higher income levels were celebrating back then. You know, they had a party every year and stuff like that. So I just think it was our income level didn't allow us to have all those parties and everything.
Razi, you've been making money for a while. I've known you. You're one of my best friends. Dog, you've never invited me to a birthday party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is, we've had money, we've had opportunities, we still don't celebrate ourselves. Byron, you're the only person on here that's had a real wedding. You know what I'm saying? And all three of us are married.
Yeah.
You know, Razi had a wedding.
I'm
but
married twice and didn't have a real wedding either.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but but it's like a real wedding. Like you had a cake, and probably the reason you did that is because of Tabitha. The wedding's a woman's. But I've known you even longer than I've known Razi.
Yeah,
Byron, we've never invited each other to a birthday party, or now that we've had kids, we do a little better job at birthday parties and gifts, and we're celebrating other people. We're getting better at that, but we don't know how to celebrate ourselves. We just had one of our homeboys just had a baby shower. Flew across from Houston to Atlanta to celebrate with him and his lady for the baby shower, but it was hard for me to invite people to our baby shower. So it's.
I'll say in my adulthood, I've had I think one birthday party Razio came to. It wasn't even a birthday party. It was just like, hey, I'm celebrating my birthday in Miami. I want everybody to come that can come. So
it was a birthday trip.
Yeah, it was. There you go, birthday trip.
But you didn't make a big deal out of it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to Miami, and you went down and had fun. Like I have fun. I go on trips. I go out with my frat brothers. I go out with my friends. Like we do things, but it's not celebrating myself. Like I know how to have fun. I definitely know how to have fun, and my time at FAMU will tell you that. But celebrating, we don't do a good job at it.
Yeah, we are horrible at putting ourselves on a pedestal.
But it's a lot of us.
I can see that.
Like when I was sitting there looking at the promposals, like I'm like, my prom, I was dating a chick, and it's like, we going to the prom? Yeah, that was my prom invite. You going to Winter Formal? We going to, like, it wasn't even really a big deal. It's just like, we going? It's big now. So now it's trickling down to homecoming. Like they're really going. I'm like, that's so overboard. But it's like, it's to me, and maybe that's the millennial in me. It's a little too much, but it's teaching these kids how to celebrate life. We don't celebrate. We know how to kick it. And I think we're kicking it and having more fun because of our income stream. But a lot of us.
So what is your definition? What is your definition of celebrating?
So to make it all about you, make it about you.
Like maybe kicking it or, going on a trip is their version of celebrating themselves.
Yeah. But is it all about you? Like, do you make it a big hoopla? Like you invited us to Miami. You just invited us to Miami. It wasn't a countdown to the Miami trip. And here's a list. Now, there's some millennials. I have a bunch of friends who know how to celebrate. I'm not going to lie. They celebrate. We're celebrating the month of December because my birthday is in January. It's like I have those friends, but it's still at the end of the day, it's like the fact that we have to ask what celebrating is.
Yeah. I think that's a personality thing. I really do think if people don't, like your introverts probably aren't going to ever party like that. Like, because that's not kind of what they do. They don't enjoy that. That what they enjoy is small, intimate gatherings with people they really, really know, so that they don't get super overwhelmed with, being tired and everything, with being the people outside. So I think there are personalities that are going to make it, like you said, that are going to make it a big to do and everything like that, have the countdown and do all that. And then there's personalities that are going to be, hey, y'all just come by the house, chill out. Let's pop, a couple bottles of wine and let's just talk about whatever, and that might be their thing. Like Jenica is, she doesn't want this huge party. What she wants is let's go to dinner and that's my celebrating me. Y'all coming to spend some time with me. Only the people that I really want around. And everybody's coming out for me, and we're going to go where I want to go, and we're going to eat what I want to eat and everything like that. And that's her thing. And so she's happy with that. So I just think it's personality, man. I don't think it's a millennial versus anybody else, because I think they always had those super flashy folks in Gen X, baby boomers, probably not the baby boomers, because they had like potatoes and sacks and stuff. But, and the next generation, they're going to do it even bigger because of social media. They can show off with each other. But for every person that you see that are doing that on social media, and the folks that you see, there's 2 or 3 people that are just having these intimate gatherings, and they're good with that. And that's their celebration.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I mean, but I think a lot of the things that we see as quote unquote over the top. So we talked about the introverts, but sometimes you'll frown up or turn your nose up at the extroverts, like when they're doing too much. Like, are they really doing too much, or are they really knowing how to celebrate themselves? Yeah. To somebody who never celebrates themselves, damn near anything is too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody tells me happy birthday, I almost feel the need to tell them happy birthday back. Like, it's like, oh crap, you just gave me a compliment. Thank you.
Your hair's nice.
Glad you were born 6 months ago. It's like, I feel it's unnatural to me. Like, and I'm not shy or I've been called arrogant a time or two. So it's not like that, but it's just when you're truly giving me something or trying to celebrate me,
you don't know how to take it.
Yeah. Because I don't know how to celebrate myself. Yeah. So with that being said, December 2020, I turned 40. So my goal is to do South Florida, Miami, mid-December.
My favorite.
Y'all heard it here first. If you're in South Florida and you can make it and you're one of our listeners, I'm doing it big by my standards, which probably is going to be embarrassing to some people's like, oh, this is doing it big. But there's a group of us that have December birthdays. At least one other person has a December birthday, 2 days apart. My line brother, Steve. So, Steve, if you're listening, December 2020, Sagittarius Slob Down 2. You heard it here first.
Yeah. I'll reach out to Slip and Slide. That's my favorite. So,
hey, man, they might be at homecoming, man. They might be at homecoming. So, fellas, that was a fun conversation for me. Don't want to hog the conversation. Who's up next?
So I hit y'all with a heavy topic last week that and we found out that Razi doesn't care about women getting slapped. So I'm gonna lighten it up.
The first slap don't count.
Only the first slap. The second slap, I'm jumping in. I'm all in.
He slapped us again.
Gotta get it.
Oh, come on, but
oh, and you know what though? On that topic, in all seriousness, because we posted it on our Facebook page. The young lady in Pittsburgh at the gas station that got jumped by the 2 store clerks. No question about it. I'm in that.
Yeah.
That was disgusting, man. That was disgusting, man.
Yeah, that mean
we talked about it in a lighthearted way, but that right there was disgusting, man. But I'm gonna lighten it up today, man. So, and I'm keeping with the restaurant theme though. So black people are.
Anytime you start with black people, it's like black people do this.
Black people.
Oh Lord, my bad. Continue, my man.
Among other negative reputations, we are known, we're known to not be good tippers. So, my question to you, fellas, is almost like a 2-part question. Are you good tippers, no matter how the service is, and do you tip because you feel like? Do you overcompensate on your tip because a lot of black people have this negative stereotype of not being well tippers. So you want to kind of cover and show them, hey, black people do tip well. So here, take this 20 on this $10 tab or whatever like that. Do you overcompensate on your tip? Do you feel obligated to try to change that stereotype single-handedly by over tipping? And do you tip according to service, or do you always tip 20%? Like, let's let it fly, man. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Well, I will start off with $20 on a $10 tip. With me being as cheap as I am, that ain't happening.
You need to bring me some extra stuff.
Yeah. So
some extra cheddar bay biscuits.
Now, you might get a $20 tip on a $10 tab if you hook me up and I ended up getting something free. I might actually put whatever I got free, that cost of that, onto your tip. So anybody who serves me in the future, if you hear that, just kind of keep that in the back of your head. But
he just asked for some free stuff.
I did. But no, I do have that in the back of my head, that stereotype in the back of my head, and I do always tip because of that. Like, I'm going to leave a tip. My family, my sister was a server, Jen was a server for a long time, so I know how hard it is for servers. They don't make enough money as it is. Coming from me, that's and that business side of me, I'm always like, well, they kind of okay, but no, servers, any service industry, anybody who lives off tips, that's just outright wrong, in my opinion. I like the European style where you get a minimum wage, you get a regular living wage, and tips aren't encouraged and they're not even expected. So I do tip. I always make sure I start at 20. And then go from there. So you're going to get 20% if you're just a mediocre service, normal. And if it starts to get sucky, I always see where the problem is in it. So I'm not going to, if my food takes a long time, I'm not going to take off your tip because that's not you. That's the kitchen, right? That's the cooks. But now if my food comes out cold, that's on the server because that means that it got cooked and it sat up there and waited to be brought out to me. So that's on the server at that point. So if it comes out cold, it's coming off the server's tip at that point. So I just kind of look at the service, what it is, and I come down from there. There's been maybe 1 or 2 occasions where I just did not leave a tip, like I stiffed somebody, and it was because the service was bad. Like I didn't get a refill. My food came out cold. It was bad. I didn't get everything I ordered. Like I ordered an appetizer and it didn't come out. And so when my regular food came, I was like, hey, where's my appetizer? And he's like, oh, I forgot it. And he's like, do you want it? I'm like, nah, because now you're going to try to put it on my bill. So I ain't paying for it and I already got my food. So little stuff like that. I mean, so I didn't tip that time. But
is this that restaurant in Sierra?
No. Definitely not that one. So that's when I haven't tipped. But for the most part, I mean, I'm gonna tip because I do have to try to break that stereotype. I have to make sure that you understand that no, we do tip.
Bro, it's those Generation Xers, bro, that gave us a bad name.
Yeah, they did. So no, I'll blame that one on the baby boomers, truthfully. So, well, no, because we couldn't even eat in restaurants during the baby boomer time. So it got to be the Gen Xers. Yeah, we can blame it on them.
Blame it on the Gen Xers. That might be the title of this show. Blame it on the Gen Xers.
Hey, make sure you let your parents hear this episode, Razi. Since you going
I cursed, man. No, I can't let my mama hear this.
Just blame it on me. Blame it on me. You can't get in trouble with Jen, but you can get in trouble with your mama.
Yeah. That's my mom. She ended up putting me in a trunk of a car like she did you.
Yeah, man. That was wrong, man. That was messed up.
Hey, my
mom. But I tip well, man. Now I'm not gonna do like some of my people. Razi, you start with 20% and you work up or down from that, or you just 20. You can't get any lower than that, but you can lose. You can go down to 15%.
Oh, yeah. You can go down 15, 10%. It just kind of depends.
Now, I got some homeboys or some people I've known that will put whatever they going to tip on the table. But this is old school, so they usually carry ones. And every time someone wrong, they just started pulling the tip away. So you see 21s on there, and all of a sudden it looks like 7. But, I tip well because I think at first it was that I felt guilty or I had to overcompensate. But now it's just my norm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my norm. I try to do at least 20%, depending on what's going on. If I'm actually getting service, if it's something small, I do no less than, like on a $10 tip, I might tip $5. Like I think I do like a minimum of $5, depending on where I'm at. Which I felt like I was just saying I tip well, and people are like, oh, he just tipped $5, so they might think I'm cheap. Hey, but on a $10 tab, I might tip $5 just because. And I even tip like I tip probably when I'm not supposed to. I think someone asked this on Facebook the other day. When am I supposed to tip? Like every Friday, my daughter and I do this little kolache bar right by her daycare. We do a couple of kolaches and some donuts or whatever the case may be. And basically, the lady rings me up, goes behind the counter, grabs a kolache, grabs a donut, warms it up, and gives it to me. And I still tip. I don't know if I'm getting over or maybe I'm overcompensating or it's just I'm so used to tipping. But, it is what it is. It's not going to make or break me. I feel like I'm doing my due diligence because I know that's how their system works. I do agree with Razi. I wish it was more like the European system where the tip is included in the price of the food. You might pay a little more, but you don't have to worry about tipping. And it also works better because the turnover on tables isn't as fast, because they're getting paid minimum wage and the more people they can sit, the more money they'll make. Like when we were in Paris and Spain, people were sitting there talking for hours and the waiter didn't care because at the end of the day, he or she was going to get the same amount regardless of how many tables turn. But I get it. you know, and especially if I take a long time. And that's another thing I consider, how long we take at a table. Like we went out for my wife's birthday, and I tipped because they actually, I hate when they do gratuity. What about that? When you have a party of 6 they throw in gratuity in there.
Oh, I'm done. At that point, I don't do additional tips.
Oh, you don't tip on top of the.
I don't know. Unless my mom is there, because my mom tips really, really well. So my mom tips like 25, almost 30%. But she is a hard customer. Like she is like, you know, she doesn't tell you everything at once. So she'd be like, hey, can you refill my drink? They come refill your drink. Be like, oh, can you bring me some lemons? And then when they bring the lemons, be like, ooh, can I get a cherry for this Sprite? Like it's horrible. She is annoying. She annoys me when we're but she tips really, really well afterwards. But, you know, just being there with her, I'm like, oh, why is she asking something else? So,
yeah. And so for me, I guess the same way, especially if I'm hosting, like I said, we brought all these people together for my wife's birthday. So it might have been like 10, 12 of us. And of course they had a gratuity, but we were there probably for 2 hours, 2+ hours. So there was no way for them to turn over that table. I think they made the people I was with, I feel like I hope tip well. But I also threw an extra tip in there just because I'm like, hey, we were here long enough that we kind of took up all your time. You could have probably turned this table twice within the time period we were here. So I also couldn't consider that. And also tip more when I'm drinking too. So you sliding me drinks. Like some bartenders have made some money off of me.
That's what's up.
They have made some money off of me, especially they make my drinks right. Ooh.
So I got a question that I guess you can add it into your answer, Byron. Do you have a minimum tip? Like if you have a $7 or a $10, like you go for lunch somewhere or something like that, are you tipping the $1.50 or that's the 10% or, not even that, right? So what is it, like on a $10 tab, it's a $2 tip for your 20%. Are you tipping $2 or are you going to tip them a normal tip off that $10 tab?
I like even numbers. So I'll definitely, if it's like $10.12 tab, I may go up to maybe up to $15, just write it in after you charge the card or whatever. But I'm just going to let y'all know right now, man, my tip scale is anywhere from 0% to 30. So, and I feel no obligation to tip anybody. Now, I do go in there and listen, you when I get there, because I feel like I'm the opposite of your mom, Razi. I'm a fairly easy customer. Like, I don't hold mistakes against the waiter or waitress. Not like one or two. Now, they keep messing up, then we got a problem. And also, before I really get into my answer, I have spoken to some people who said that the waiter and the waitresses, they do split the tips with the cooks. So sometimes that tip goes to both of them. So you feel safe. Feel free to take it out on both of them when you tip me sometime if your food takes so long. But as long as I'm not even asking for anything special either. Like you don't have to be personable with me, and all I ask is that you get my order right, bring it, and that's it. Like the bare minimum. I don't need all this extra stuff in order for you to get a tip. Where you get close to 10 and 5%. Is when you done messed up 3 or 4 times. It took you forever. You got an attitude, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm hassling you for coming to the establishment to eat, then your tip is going to be low. But quick story, back in May, we went up to New York for the Deontay Wilder fight at some of your reality TV show watching people. What's her name? Kenya Moore. Her and her husband are getting a divorce. We went to his restaurant, Soko, and I'm going to tell you right now, I hope anybody affiliated with that restaurant is listening. I ain't leave no tip because y'all were off. Y'all almost made me miss the fight. That's how bad y'all was. It took 2 hours almost to get the food, it felt like. And I really felt angry because I had propped this restaurant up. I had been there a couple of times. I'm like, man, the food is good. Man, it's almost like they forgot about us, man. So it was just a terrible, terrible experience, man. But other than that, yeah, so I ain't leave them But other than that,
y'all gonna work me today, huh?
Other than that, unless you bring me my beverage and say, here you go, nigga. You're gonna get a tip, man. You're gonna get around 20% or more.
Okay, so if you don't mess up, you give me my drinks on time, you refill, you give me the bread hot, you get all that stuff. You just starting with 20%. Like if you get anything less than 20%, they've screwed up.
Yes. And if you went above and beyond, you get close to that 30% range. Like when you you look out for my daughter and just little extra stuff, then I'm definitely gonna look out for you.
Oh, and with just kind of think about that, like, kids spill stuff. So if the kids spill stuff and you got to come over there, you got to wipe it all up and stuff. That's a little bit of extra on the tip, just because I understand you had to bring me 17 napkins and go wring them out and all of that stuff.
Like me and Tad went to Morton Steakhouse one time for our anniversary, and like,
flex.
Man, they brought us. That's not a flex, man. Come on. They brought us like a free dessert, man. They took our picture. Like, would you like for us to take an anniversary picture, you guys? And like even people that wasn't serving our table, when they passed by, they would just wish us a happy anniversary. So that right there was definitely a great experience, man. Mm-hmm. So okay. But I just want to reiterate, I feel no obligation. I don't care what the stereotype is of black people. I'm not the one that's about to change it. If you bad, then we'll let the stereotype live on. 5% it is.
Yeah. So one thing I posted about tipping, because I was in Atlanta.
I saw that.
Staying in the hotel, and so the valet just kind of, it always gets me, because when do you tip and how much do you tip? Because if I'm going to be there 4 or 5 days, I get them at the end. Like I'll drop a 20 at the end, or I'll drop, $30 at the end, because I don't carry cash like that to be giving them dollars here and dollars there and stuff like that. So I posed the question on Facebook, like, when am I supposed to tip? And I had to go look it up, and it's all kind of different answers. So some people say it's every time you go to the valet, whether you're dropping your car off and when you're picking it up. Some are like when you just exactly. Some is like just when you pick it up. No. So they like every time you transfer the keys, you should be tipping. And so whether it's only $1 or $2. And so that's what the internet said. And then I reached out to a couple
internet don't lie.
That are valets. So anybody that's valets or anybody who has worked in the industry, comment, talk to us about it. Let us know how we're supposed to tip valets, because that is still the most. I get anxiety when I go to the valet line. Like I'm like, am I holding? Am I taking too long? Am I hurrying? Like because they're rushing, they're trying to get the cars through and everything. I don't know when to hand them the money. Do I give it to them right when they get out, or do I wait?
With my right hand? Do I give it to you? That's crazy, because I get nervous because I travel a lot for work. And so I had to valet a lot. The worst part is like, I'll get cash out of the ATM and I get a 20. And I'm like, oh, now I got to run around the hotel.
That's that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode right there.
You're about to get this 20 now. Like, you can ask the valet. No, I ain't about to ask him.
I'm going to tell you this too. Before we get to your question, Razi, I do if I can help it, I do my best to avoid even needing a service that requires a tip. So like when I get to the airport, those people that come up to you, you want to take your bags, or at the hotel, want to take your, I got it, Chief. I got it. Got like 3 bags on my shoulder. I'm like, I'm good. We straight. Straight.
Concierge.
That's how you make it a Morton. But the thing about it is I'm trying to figure out, like, so you mentioned restaurants, valets. Is there anybody else you tip?
Your barber. How about that one? That's a question.
Oh, yeah,
back when I was getting my hair, go to the barber.
You gotta take care of your barber, champ.
Okay, all right.
Take care of your barber, man.
So how much are you tipping then on it? On a $20 haircut, right?
Well, the last time I went, it was like, I think haircuts were around 15. By the way, I'm bald, folks, so I don't go there no more. But I would get my haircut and I would get my shape up, and that would all be 15. So I would just give them a 20 each time.
Man, 20 for a haircut, barber?
It's even. I mean, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna give him 18? What am I gonna do with $2?
I'm just saying $15, man. Okay. So I get a haircut. I get a haircut every week. I have a standing appointment with my barber for 1:00 every Friday. It's just me. It is what it is. He shapes my beard, edge up and everything. It's 20 and I give him 30 or something like that. I don't know. I cash app him. So I just got to, I know Razi is cringing over there. I can't see it, but I know you're cringing. He's thinking about how Jenica would run with that and all the stuff she would buy.
Yeah. That's what I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking $30 a week. Bro, that's $120 a month.
That is a cell phone bill, Tim.
Yeah, exactly. That is a bill for some folks. So,
are we hair shaming now? Like, what's
talking about? I'm flex.
yeah. That's a humble brag.
No, but hey, man, I'm trying to keep it while I got it, man. You never know. But so I'm thinking like outside. Okay, Barbara, of course, but like, do you tip at the hotel? Like, I ain't made it there yet,
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, boy. They finna kill me for this one. I just realized, and call me ignorant. You're supposed to leave a tip when you check out the hotel room. Yeah, leave it in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much is that supposed to be?
And should it be clean in person? I'm just playing.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. I didn't know.
I know, but I don't.
What about all them extra fees the hotel charge? They ain't a tip built in that?
Nope. It's not. So, yeah, you should. Room service, same way. If you order any room service, you got to leave a tip for that.
But usually I do it's included in that, isn't it?
Gratuity is in there, but now that is one time I do tip over the gratuity for some reason. Probably because it's on the company. That's usually the only time I'm getting room service is if I'm traveling for the company. So yeah, I'll throw that money. I don't care. So anyway, y'all left me 10 minutes for my
man. Just do what you do, man. Do what you do, man. We grown.
So my question, I'm gonna keep it a little light, but
man, do what you do.
I do want to get a little seriousness with it. So you guys know Tekashi 6ix9ine out there snitching on Santa Claus for breaking and entering. Stupid. Everything. So, and now we got this whistleblower going on in the White House. So, snitching's happening everywhere. And what I want to ask you guys is your thoughts on the whole stop snitching. Would y'all snitch? Like, when would you snitch? When do you keep it gangster, keep it 100 and not snitch? So just your thoughts on snitching in general.
Okay, well, this is going to be my third time answering this question this week. I answered on like 2 social media posts. Basically, so first off, let me just put this out here. And I got this from my man Sherman Cooley, and I totally agree with it. First off, anyone who's not in the game, a citizen can't snitch. That is what you're supposed to do. When you see a crime, you report it. Now, if you're in the game, if you're in the dope game, if you're in organized crime, anything like that, those are the people who are snitching because that's the life you signed up for. So you can't get caught at something and in order to free yourself, start telling on everybody else. That's the true essence of snitching. What I don't like about snitching when it comes to our community is that it's the negative connotation that it has. All professions have a no snitching thing. Police have it. They protect one another. It's in the military, which is why politicians fight so hard to make it easier for women to come forward about sexual crimes. Politicians look out for one another. All professions look out for one another for the most part and have a no snitching type of policy. But when it comes to Black people, that's always the reason why things are so bad. The reason why Black people have such a policy is because historically we have not been able to rely on the police. It's hard to rely on the people that choke you, shoot you, beat you up. And that's who you're supposed to go to when a crime is committed. So historically it's bad. On top of that, the people who have come forward, they did a piss poor job of protecting them people. So that scene on season 4 of The Wire is true. It's 100% true. Someone came forward, reported the crime. The police department did nothing to protect that person, and they wound up burning that person down in his own home. So we have plenty of reasons to not come forward. Unfortunately, it has taken on such a hip thing to do as far as not snitching and stuff. And that can be harmful. Like I say, if you're not in the game, you should be reporting the crime, period. But the whole thing of that's why black neighborhoods are so messed up because they don't cooperate with police. No, historically, black people don't cooperate with police. It's because police departments the foundation of them were slave catchers. So we have an inherent mistrust of the police. And that's why. And that's what's not talked about enough.
Well, I appreciate that, Byron. You went really deep with that. My answer's not that deep. I'm snitching. and I'm gonna use your definition of snitch because I'm at the point where I don't put myself or haven't put myself in those situations. Like I'm not in the game. Right. I'm not trying to act like I'm hard. I'm not trying to act like I'm down. I'm not in the game. There's too many things going on in my life that supersede all this hood credit. I'm not trying to impress anybody out there, so I can never see myself in Tekashi's situation. But I mean, the closest thing I can think of is being with somebody who I consider a friend or associate and they happen to do something wrong that I'm not aware of, hey, we're riding around and you got drugs in the car or something like that. Oh, you stole a car and we get pulled over and you're like, dog, don't say nothing. Oh no, nigga. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Officer, there's a gun in the car and it's his.
No, if I don't know, because I'm not gonna if I don't know, your best bet is not to tell me. Or tell me before I get in the car, like, dog, I'm riding dirty. Yeah, man, I'll Uber. Or that's why I drive. That's why I drive most places. There's only so many people that I'm willing to ride with around town, especially if I'm in my town. So if I ride with you, consider that a compliment, because I just can't trust everybody with my livelihood. But if I'm riding with you and you just happen to have something, you don't tell me, and we get pulled over, your best bet is not to tell me because we might make it. But it's like, oh, I found a bag of cocaine. Oh, you do cocaine? I'm snitching. I'm not going down for you, man. I can't sit there. Snitches get stitches. I'm not worried about stitches. I'm worried about not being somebody else's. I'm not trying to go to jail for you. It's not worth it. I'm not trying to take a charge for you. Dog, I really appreciate that bird you caught. No, I'm not trying to be in a rap song and you showing me your respect and your love. Dog, your best bet is not to do your dirt around me. And if I turn some people off, hey, we probably shouldn't have hung that with hey, it is what it is. I got enough friends.
Hey, Photoshop some rainbow hair on Ferg when you post the episode, Razi.
Man, I'm just saying, dog. I'm not trying to
6'9" tattoo on his
head. Man, I'm just saying, I'm not. If it's a victimless crime or something like that, that's different. Did you run the stoplight? What stoplight? I don't know what you're talking about. But if it's you robbed somebody, you beat somebody, I'm not trying to go down for you. If there's no way for me to be implicated, then do you. But if you don't value our friendship enough or whatever our situation is enough to say, you know what, officer, this is mine, then why should I value our friendship more than you do? Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Why should I value? You don't value it. So somebody got to take the ball.
You put me in a bad situation by bringing your life into mine. So that's the thing. So mine's kind of nuanced like that too. It's my answers are always relative, right? And with the sliding scale, I mean, if it's like you said, if we running a light, if it's my homeboy and he's selling weed or something like that, I ain't saying nothing about that. I'm not snitching at that point. But if it's a kid on the corner, I'm calling the police. If it's somebody on my block,
I'm calling the police now, Razi.
I'm sorry. I'm calling the police if somebody on my block and they look sketchy and I ain't never saw that car and it's been parked there too long and they in the car and then I'll see another car pull up and they talk a little while and the other car pull off and I'm like, hey, I don't know what's happening out here, but there's some sketchy stuff happening. I'm calling the cops.
Byron, can we make Razi the snitch then? I ain't calling the police. So you got to catch me.
That's the whole point. Who are you calling?
I know. You gotta catch us in. You gotta catch it in the act. Like we got to be in a car together, and we get pulled over, and it's like, who's cocaine in this? I don't even know what cocaine looked like, so I'm gonna assume that's his. Like
the head of his neighborhood watch. Hey, friend, are you expecting some company? Because
that's run tell that Razi. Like I ain't calling the police. I'm saying if there's a situation where the law is involved and they bring me into the situation, like if we get pulled over and they say, hey, sir, you step out of the car. Like if I'm riding with Razi and they say, Razi, you step out of the car, sir, this is your vehicle. We found ABC. I'm not saying anything. But when they question me, sir, is this yours? No, absolutely not. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, I remember because in third grade, his nose used to bleed a lot. I'm not going that deep, but I'm just letting you know that I don't got nothing for you. Like, I can't.
But with that, I mean, I get the nuances of that. Like, they got to catch us in it. I'm not calling on my homeboy, that type of thing. But this situation right here, your homeboy goes in, tries robbery gone wrong or something. You know he did it, and he shoots an innocent person. And you know about it. Mm-hmm. So in that case, what do you do? Because that's the hard decision right there. Like at what point, even though you're not in the game, by association you're in the game, right? It's your homeboy. You ain't saying nothing. You know they do the thing or whatever. But at this situation, an innocent person died, and you know about it.
Due to Mr. my Officer, profession, I will recuse myself from this.
Mr. Officer, can I be implicated in that?
What do you mean?
Can I go down for that? Like, is there anything? Because my thing is, I'm gonna try to talk you. I'm gonna try to do because I'm trying to be a good person. Like, I'm gonna try to talk you the right way. Like, dude, like you didn't watch CSA, they're gonna find you, man. You might as well turn yourself in. I might not give you up. Like, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Yeah.
My rainbow braids getting shorter, dog. Like, they coming back in, man. I don't know. Like, it's
easy to snitch on somebody who you don't know.
No, not even. Now my thing is like on some like I said, we're in a car together. You get pulled over. Like you did something. You put me in this. Now,
and I feel like if you were a real friend, I think Razi said this, but if you were a real friend and they got something on them and they didn't tell you, they should cop to that. If you're my friend, I shouldn't even have to snitch on you. You should cop to that.
Yeah, because you shouldn't try to bring me down. But the same thing is, hey, you shot somebody. I heard you shot somebody. Project Pat, Get It Green. Love that album. I heard you shot somebody. But no, so you can't. Once again, and I'm talking through it for myself, you brought me in this situation. Now, if you're coming to me for guidance and like, man, what should I do? Should I turn myself in? Like, that's one thing. If you like, man, I need you to stash this. Come on now, dog. Like, you asking too much. Like, you're trying to bring me down with you. And, you know, at the end of the day, my allegiance is to my family. I can't go to jail for hiding this piece for you. Like, you got to come up with a better plan. Now, if they ask me if I saw you, I'm like, I don't remember that. You know, there's a fifth word? Can I plead the fifth in this, Razi?
I assume, or you could just not say anything and let the cops find them.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying you gotta like. That's probably what I would do. Like you said, for me, I think it would be me explaining to them, hey, you need to go turn yourself in. That you know this ain't right. Yada yada yada. But I'm probably not gonna call the police and be like, hey, I know who killed the old lady. You know, type thing, and it's a hard one, bro. Because I mean,
he's staying at the crib.
Are you gonna really turn your friend in?
Is he staying at the crib?
Oh no,
now
you harboring the future.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, if you stop by, you like, I don't know, like, dog, you need to turn yourself in, man. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were talking about. Like, oh yeah, you dog, go to the basement, dog. Like, dog, man, I appreciate you stopping by. I wish you much luck.
Hopes and prayers.
Oh yeah, man. Let us pray. But so, you know, like, I'm not gonna sit there and say I know what happened.
So what's the legal ramifications of not snitching, Byron? I mean,
that's what I need to know.
If I find out,
there are none unless you get in trouble once you're questioned. Like if you know and you're never questioned, then there's just some information you kept to yourself. Now, once you get questioned, you're not allowed to lie to the authorities.
So I get questioned at this point. What am I supposed to do? Like, if you know that me sticking up for you can ruin my life.
So
and you know what?
At that point, right?
That's when you tell them, listen, don't tell me, tell them to keep it moving. Don't tell you where they're going. And because if they're coming to you and they clearly know he's done it, they're just looking for him. And you can just say, I don't know where he is. And you don't really have to snitch. Just, I don't know. And you don't know where he is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like on some OJ type thing. Like, how did he look when he came to you? Were his clothes bloody? Around what time is it like? Yeah, I don't know where he's at now, but you get subpoenaed. I hope I'm using that right. You get subpoenaed. You got to testify in court. It's like, how did this person look? They came to your house October 4th at 10:27 p.m. We tracked his cell phone, whatever the case may be. How did he look? Yada, 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 yada. And you came to me looking crazy. You got blood on you. You sweating, I had to get her. Am I supposed to say, I don't know what you're talking about? Can I say that? Now, if I can say that, that's cool. I'm thinking. But at the same time, you killed an innocent person.
But you do know it. So you just lied to the authorities. Yeah. So you probably better just like, I guess that's what I was asking.
But is that snitching?
The Fifth Amendment says that, or pleading the Fifth, right? Saying that I can't incriminate myself. So, but you're not incriminating yourself. You're just not telling them anything. So if you just say, can you plead the Fifth in that situation, since it's not going to incriminate you at all?
I mean, you could do like Barry Buzz, homeboy, and just refuse to answer. Like, don't lie, don't say anything, just don't answer, and they'll probably lock you up and try to wait you out. But he never snitched on Barry. So
wait, they're gonna lock me out? They're gonna lock me up?
Yeah, I'm not fit for jail.
All right, friends. If you shoot an old lady, do not come tell me anything.
Or me.
I think I'm snitching.
I just want to ask the people what the great philosopher Riley Freeman once asked. For those of you who are strictly on the no snitching thing, is it okay to snitch to the police on the police?
Oh, yeah. His badge number was.
Because I feel like that's a catch-22 for all you diehard no snitching people.
Oh, yeah. I'm recording. I'm on a cop watchers and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's badge number.
That's like Jenica says it all the time. I'm snitching on whoever I don't like. So her whole continuum is if I like you or not. If I like you, I'm snitching on you. I don't care if I do like you, I'm not snitching. If I don't like you, then I'm snitching. I don't care. Yep, he ran the red light. I saw him do it. So, I mean, it could be whatever.
Yeah, my thing is, if it's victimless, yeah, don't worry about it. But you're talking about something where people's lives are truly impacted. I mean, it's right is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because and I always look at it like, imagine that was you. Imagine that was one of your family members that I killed and somebody else knows the details, but they got hood credit because they ain't snitch. Yeah. Is it right? Or, hey, you did the crime, you do the crime, pay the time. And when you bring me in it and you jeopardize my livelihood, if you come to me saying, hey, Ferg, I don't know what to do, I'm going to try to talk you like, hey, dude, like, I advise you go to the police. I'm telling you what you need to do because I can't. Is it snitching if I tell you up front? Well, shit, he got a gun too. So like, I don't know. Yeah, dog, you gotta go. I'm about to snitch. Oh, gotta take it. But no, like, it's like, hey, dog, like, you need to go to the police. I'll take you there. I'll do whatever I can to help. But you need to make a decision soon because if they bring me in, I can't jeopardize this. I can't jeopardize his family over that. So, I'll be there for you. And I think the sooner you turn yourself in, the better. That's about all I got.
It's a hard question, man. I don't think it's a again, there's never a black and white answer, right? That's why we bring up the questions.
Yeah, don't shoot nobody, y'all.
But yeah, like stop the violence and stop all the shooting. But definitely, if you shoot somebody, don't tell me about it, because I don't want to have to figure out what I'm going to do about the situation.
Yeah,
so
man.
If you coming to me, you need to be coming to me with, hey, I need a lawyer so I can go turn myself in, help me through this type thing. I got you. As a friend, I got you. But not I need to talk you through this and I'm on the run.
Man, y'all just got me thinking of so many scenarios of how snitching could go wrong. You know, I'm thinking about all like AB cases, you know, like these sexual harassments and rape cases. And somebody says something wrong, like, so you raped her? Like, you know, like basically telling you a story like, so you raped her?
Exactly. You know, like so, I'm sure somebody has told a story, a conquest story to one of their homeboys, and the homeboy was thinking, you just raped this girl. And you know, and what do you do with that information? You know,
man, just do right, people, man.
Yeah, don't rape.
Y'all making it hard not to be a snitch, man. Like it's stressful.
Said, don't rape.
Don't rape, don't kill.
Right.
Like, y'all go read the Bible, man. Go do 10 Commandments or something, man. Just go stop doing that stuff, man. Y'all making it hard. Y'all making it hard not to be a snitch.
We spiraling. I think it's time for us to wrap this up.
Yeah, man. It's just you got me thinking, man. Well, fellas, it's been another fun episode. Razi, you got your work cut out for you. Fellas, got anything on your mind you want to say to the people before we leave? Tell them where they can find us, where they can find you.
As usual, we're always thankful and grateful for the listeners. I didn't realize so many of you guys were terrorists. We posted a post on Facebook, Three Brothers No Sense on Facebook, about which candy had to go. And I didn't realize a lot of you eat Kit Kats, including Tavares. So apparently I work with terrorists. I just want you to know all of your names were reported to the CIA and FBI. So be looking for that knock on your door. How in the world can you get rid of Snickers and Milky Way? But that's another story. The Three Brothers, we decided we're going to do something different next episode. We've been talking about the questions that we've been getting from you guys. We finally made it far enough down our list of questions to where we think it's time to ask questions that you guys have told us you want us to talk about. So next episode right here, Three Brothers No Sense, we're going to be answering some of the viewers' questions. So again, thank you guys for listening. Facebook, Three Brothers No Sense. Instagram, Twitter, Three Brothers No Sense. As Razio says, the number 3. Take us out, Razi.
Hey, I got nothing else to add, man. You wrapped it up quite nicely. Ferg?
Same here, man. Appreciate it. Three Brothers No Sense. Catch you next week. It's been a blast.